There we go.
Oh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Thrash Talk. We are live today with my brother from another mother, Sir Ollie Hill, and the host with the most, Sleep. Super stoked to be here, boys. How you doing?
What's up, man? Good morning, dude. It's early here. It's early here, man. We're working early this morning because we got to get in touch with Ollie, who is down under. Like, do you use an A or do you say down under? I don't even know. Do you know the lingo yet? You've been down there for a couple
G'day,
weeks now.
mate.
There you go.
I'm currently in Rabster's home country of Austria. I mean, Australia.
You actually messed with me there for a second. I was like, wait, what? Is he really in Austria right now?
No, we're in. It's 9:30 at night. Were you at early in the morning, 7:30 or something?
Yes, sir. Right now it is 6:25 where I'm at. We're streaming live 6:25 here in the States, 7:30 on the East Coast time, but it's nighttime for you there, man. You guys are settling in. Did you have a long day of training today?
No, we had a day. IBM, my teammate from the old team of Great Britain, best team about, Keith. And we're what is our summer training this year, and we've got like 4 official weeks with the team, which is starting actually effectively this month. And JBM and myself have come out for 3.5-ish weeks beforehand. Both of us had a pretty shitty season from injury point of view and not being able to do much riding, so just wanted to go and have a bit of soul riding, whatever you'd call it, riding with the homies, just going getting our riding legs back and just having a bit of fun, really. Trying to enjoy the mountain and the time, get used to all the time zone differences and all that sort of shit, really. Ready to hit the ground when the coaches turn up on Monday, one of those days.
Yeah, that's sick. How's the snow out there?
Dude, we've had a pretty sick last week, to be honest. The first week we were here, it was real thin on the ground and really, really windy. There wasn't a lot of the mountain that was open. It's not, the biggest of resorts. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, though. We're at Perisher, which is New South Wales, Australia. It's like 2 hours sort of southeast of Canberra, like directly south, I think. No, so it's between like Canberra and Melbourne, inland a little bit, but sort of near the coastline, if that makes sense, rather than going fully in. But we flew into Sydney. We picked up a camper van because of the prices to stay in Jindabyne, which is the place that, like the town that we're at, is really expensive. So just go for like a month, it was going to cost us like, I don't know, 6 or 7 grand or something stupid.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, like crazy money, dude. So luckily JBM's got a friend of his that he actually went to school with, grew up with from back home, and he's out here with his wife working as a lift technician in Perisher randomly, which is just super cool. So he's been staying with him for like 10 days of the 2.5 weeks we've been here. And then we've been in the camper the rest of the time. We've got like a big ass, long, high jobby that's big enough for sort of 2 blokes to sleep in separate beds and not, only spoon each other when it's cold, have a little cuddle.
Yeah, full pikey mission here. I love
Oh
it.
yeah, mate. Got the curtains up. We just pulled over like 3 hours from Sydney. No, I think we're like 2 hours from Sydney now. But we've been driving up the coast basically to answer your question long-windedly. We've been driving up the coast today, about 6 or 7 hours. We started at a place called Eden, which is near some like really like famous old towns like Lighthouse. Big, it's like a big area where a lot of the cruise ships and the big ships and stuff come in. So we've just been driving up the coast road for the last few days to break up the sort of riding that we've done, going back into training with the boys from next week and just having a bit of downtime in between. So it's been super dope, mate. Super different to anything I've ever done in terms of training before.
That's
And
awesome,
I'm
man.
living like a pirate.
Yeah, heck yeah. Have you ever lived like that before? Have you guys ever lived out of a van? I know a lot of people, they'll travel around Europe, for a few months or so, live out of a van, live out of a car, live on the
I've
side of the
got
road. I don't even know. Have you done that before?
I've got a motorhome at the minute in Europe, like at home in Portugal, and it's like a ex like motocross racing van, so you can put like bikes and stuff in the
Yeah.
back, and that's what I used to transport some of my stuff down when I was moving down. I came Christmas time, um, to he lives in Morzine, and we sort of did like a month around December time, and came over in the camper and sort of did a little tour around sort of February time afterwards, as well in it, which is it's like you said, it's nice to be able to like being able to just go where you want. Um, Cost is pretty low, just or you've rented something, but like obviously it has its downfalls. Like sometimes you know you just want to like stop somewhere, and then it's like, oh, you can't stop here, you can't camp here. We've spent like last couple of nights like trying to find places out the way to stay, and like the very last night we were riding, we did like so Keith, been meeting up with Benny and Nikki and like Sean, and
That's
the Aussie
sick.
team. Done a couple of early morning like slalom gate training sessions just to work on some turning with them. We did one yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, and like we ended up staying like right near the tube station, which is like it's like massive sign saying like you can't do it, but we're like fuck, we had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, in
uh,
2016, Heather and I lived out of a van for like 6 months. And like, quick little backstory, like I was fully burnt on snowboarding. I didn't get the results I wanted that season. I'd been training super hard, going into Sochi, coming out for the next couple years, right? And so I was talking to my former coach and like mentor. He was like, I was like, what do I do? I think I want to quit. I'm over it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, 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 no. You got at least bare minimum 2 more games in you. He's like, I want you to just quit everything. I don't care if you go get a job. You're not living at the training center. I don't really care, but you're not training this summer. And so Heather and I, versus spending, 30, 40 grand to live where we live for the summer, we took some money and just bought a van, put everything in storage, and just traveled around the nation. And this was like before like camper life was like, van life or whatever was like what it is today. And it was so cool. I mean, we went to so many national parks, national forests. Like I slept in a couple different Walmart parking lots because most Walmarts, like you can actually kind of, set up shop there if you need to. It's kind of a unwritten rule. Like Walmart parking lots are like usually a go. But it was so cool because
we
it's
have
so
Asdas in England. They park at Asdas.
okay. Yeah, it was just freeing, man. I mean, you wake up at a different place, 2, 3 times a week, and the wilderness was our backyard for a long time. It's sweet.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I was going to ask you, Ollie, when you were telling your story there, Keith, the first thing that popped into my head was Walmart. What do you mean? What do they got? No Walmarts down there in Australia? There's no Walmarts to pull up to.
I mean, there is, but we've been. Do you know what, dude? I have to say, so when we were staying in like the town in Jindabyne, we ended up staying like we actually found a campsite that was like quite cheap. Like there's a couple of campsites in Jindabyne, but they wanted like $120 a night for powered electricity. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know. So we ended up finding some places that were like $50 a night, $40 a night. 50 Aussie dollars, like £25 for like to go and put your thing up. So we did like four or five nights there. But the drive up we did today, we were so surprised how remote the whole place was. Like the reason we're staying here right now is because we had like an hour till we were having this chat. We had a dinner at like the town 2 hours ago away, and then we spent like an hour driving through a place with no signal, even though you're in like, coastal, like coastal stretches between these towns. There's like no signal, dude. It's beautiful, but there's no fucker here, mate.
That's
like,
sweet. Less signal, the better.
An hour and a half or 2 hours yesterday. We went to this lighthouse yesterday, right? To go and see. Benny told us to go and check out this lighthouse. It's like 3 hours from Jindabyne. So we leave Jindabyne. He's like, it would be the start of your trip. Like if you want to go up the coastal road. So we're like, sick. It's like the kilometers don't make much sense. We're getting like 2 hour, 4 hour drive. We're 2 hours away from this place, and we've got like 80 k's left to do. We're like, what the fuck? And we drive like another hour, and we get to this fucking dirt road, and we just did days of dirt road last night, like getting amazing. But like it was in the way, and then like we get to this lighthouse. There's this really nice little like near it where we stopped off, took some pictures and that because it was just beautiful. You could like see all the way down to the sea and stuff. And then we get to the lighthouse bit, and we're like, sun has just started setting, so you get to a point where like it's all this bush around you and you can't really see what's there. And like, fucking hell, mate, I don't get anything or seeing anything out kills you here, doesn't it? Like it's like more what doesn't kill you than what does kill you with animals. And like we like got like halfway to this lighthouse. It wasn't even far, it was like 200 meters. And then when we look at like the tourist board sign, and there's like spiders that have been like trapped behind it, that have died behind it, like big, like quite. Don't know if they're poisonous or not. They look pretty fucking about of them. Get like another fish, and then there's like we're like, oh, it's getting it. Oh, but the lighthouse is just there. See this massive sign is like beware for snakes. Oh, some brown snakes, like most poisonous bloody. Mate, we just turned around and fucking went back and carried on driving. Like fuck that. Taking a picture over the other side of that.
100%, man. Everything is deadly in Australia. I think we were talking to Ash about it at one point. I don't know if we never released that show. I think we're going to do another one with Ash, Kalia here pretty soon. But yeah, it seems like Australians the place of the deadly animals. So be careful out there, man. Wanted to let you know, Ollie, you're coming in a little bit broken, which is okay. There's nothing you can do about it. Like you said, you're out in the middle of the bush in Australia. So we're glad we're getting you a little bit. But dude, glad that trip has been good. Quick rundown for me. You ride for Team Great Britain, founder of Shredding Sassy. So you kind of go through these stages where you're kind of working through both of the challenges you face as almost a startup or a business owner and as an athlete. Any trouble balancing the two?
All the time, brother. Yeah. If it's not injuries, I've had a lot of injuries this last couple of years. Like more than normal doesn't help to all of that. Dude, I was dealing with people in different times. One of the hardest things to try and start to learn, and I'd never had any expectation that it was ever going to be simple, but like the reality of it, trying to do it day in, day out and trying to be consistent with it does definitely hit home hard sometimes, not just when I'm traveling, but also then the impact of in this conversation, right? Like most of the time I'm trying to talk to people on like a UK time, because Portugal UK time is the same. To then talk to you guys, it's like a whole different. And then so then traveling a lot is what's hard. Constantly being on the road, and as you probably well know, Sleep, doing anything in like a tech business or what is deemed to be a tech functioning business, like people like to have a lot of screens, and they like to have a lot of like things around them that makes their life easier. And spending 6 months plus of the time on the road and in front of a little laptop that, like, you're struggling for Wi-Fi most of the time in fucking mountain resorts and stuff, could definitely test your faith a little bit. I'm no doubt in my mind. But I know that you've done heaps of traveling and still do, and you guys both must have that same burden at times as well, that every person must have,
Yeah. Last season, I was looking at like renting Wi-Fi routers as I was like bouncing around just to see, so that Sleep and I could do the podcast or jump in here or there, just be able to get work done from stuff that I've got to get done at home. Because as you well know, Wi-Fi in a lot of the places we end up going on the road is just, as Mike Miner would say, garbage.
It's total garbage.
So I've been thinking about doing that to get like some sort of global Wi-Fi router, or just picking one up, a rental system when I'm in a certain country. Don't know if that's an option where you're at or anything like that, if you need to or not. But
so to be honest, it's generally been all right over here. It's just doing the drives in between, which we're not doing a lot of. It's only been a few days that we had planned to do these, like, to get to Sydney, to get back from Sydney, etc. Once you're in the towns, you're in the towns, right? It's not so bad.
Yeah.
I remember used to, fly around when I was in the military, where we would land, and it was before, these iPhones could do anything, talk anywhere, be anywhere. When we'd land somewhere, we'd be able to pick up a phone at the airport. You'd pick up like a prepay phone at the airport, might cost you $30 to $50, and then you'd use that for your time and give it to the next guy, or kind of, keep it in your pocket until the next time you travel back. So that's the way we did it. But I would assume that they do the same thing with Wi-Fi hotspots, right? Fact of the matter is, you still got to have some kind of cellular signal to get that Wi-Fi in, right? Unless you're Elon Musk and you're running some crazy operation here. But dude, it's pretty wild. It is definitely wild. Balancing, life and business and with you athletics, staying in shape, going through all these surgeries. I know your leg's been trying to go back for a couple years now. That's my joke. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I know that you kind of been struggling with that and your tendons in your leg. But it feels good to be back out there, huh?
It's getting there. That's I've underestimated that a little bit, I think, too. Only where I had the surgery recently. So I had a surgery called TMR nerve reinnervation something surgery. So it's the aim of it's to deal with phantom pain. And Keith would have had basically, I think, a predecessing version of this operation. Keith's been through exactly the same issues that I've had this last year, when you were about the same sort of time in as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. About 4 years in.
And it's basically where your nerves are severed when you become an amputee. Obviously, you don't have ends of your nerves connected to anything anymore, and so sometimes, or in most cases, they'll grow back out. Well, they'll start trying to grow again and trying to find where they came from, and so. You've also got like a sheath. If you imagine like a copper wire or something, like an electrical wire, you've got like the insulation over the top of it. That's like the sheath of it. And so the nerve end is like growing out of that and then like touching skin or touching whatever's close to it, and sort of grows a bit of a bulb on the end too, if I'm not mistaken, which doesn't help. And so that whole process ends up being quite painful because you get just constant non-stop phantom pains, which are usually pretty fucking intense, and they don't stop. They're relentless, mate. They're relentless. And so I had a surgery to get rid of that, and basically what they do now is, rather than just sort of chopping the ends off, and Keith, what did they do with yours? Just like chop the ends off and just put them back up and hope for the best?
Yeah, I think they cut them, cauterize them, so they pull the nerve ending out, because nerves are kind of stretchy like a rubber band, right? So they pull it out, clip it, cauterize it, I believe, and then they essentially let it retract. And then the hope is that because it's not quite at the end of the stump, it's not growing, like constantly reaching as much, or if it does reach, it's not touching the end, therefore it's not getting hit by the socket or something like that, and therefore it's not constantly getting, you know, hit or damaged or disrupted or something like that. When I had mine, it felt like I was walking around on like a broken foot for like 5 or 6 months. Like it just continuously got worse and worse. And by the end, I could barely put pressure. And I went in and saw my doctor, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but it feels like the top of my foot that's not there is broken. And he started kind of poking around, and he grabbed this little nodule at the end of my leg and wiggled it. And he's like, right there. And I about jumped out of the seat and punched him directly in the throat. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was just natural reaction. I was like, you ever do that again, I will punch you. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, that's a neuroma. And when they cut it out, it was the size of a big marble. Let's see, there we go. It was massive. And he said it was the biggest one he had ever seen. And he'd been doing these surgeries, you know, amputations and stuff for 20 plus years. Yeah, big old ball in the end of that. It's so painful though. And I remember when you when you were having it, I was like, bro, it sounds like a neuroma. I don't know. You never know, but everything you described to me, I was like, you gotta get that thing checked out, because that is gnarly as hell. It's miserable. There's nothing you can do about it either.
It's literally one of the worst experience, other than the fucking daily. It's brutal. But like I get daily phantom pain 10 minutes, you know, like some days quite bad, but you can handle it, and then just started getting more frequent, and then more times in the day they wouldn't stop. They'd last all day. It'd be like one day, and then that turn into episodes, and then those episodes would turn into like 6 days, you know, and you just like constant, like the same sort of pain that when your leg comes off in the first place. It's not fucking.
That's wild, man.
It's wild, dude. And so yeah, at least now, what they've done different now is they attach the nerves to like smaller muscles, and like with the purpose to into the muscle, and then it will like fall into the muscle and at least complete the circuit, being aggravated and wanting to all the time. Because it's basically like, as people say, it's like basically like touching a cow, holding an electric fence and just going bah, 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 bah. Like that's phantom pain, or that's one of the types of phantom pain that you get.
So since the most recent surgery, have you had the phantom pains back? Are they different phantom pains?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. So basically, you have a 3 to 6 month process. They reckon the other side of the surgery, where your nerves are growing, like they've cut your nerves all up again, like they've snipped them, and then so they've re-aggravated them about as much as you can aggravate them. So that has to settle down. Then the nerves start to grow again, which is obviously a process. And then when they get attached to the muscle, that's another process. That's obviously something that you have to. Once all that happens, it will then eventually settle down. And they reckon that's like a 3 to 6 month process. So you go through kind of periods again where you get episodes for, you know, a day or so, but then like already they're nothing like as severe in terms of pain like as what they were, apart from the initial like 3 weeks post surgery where they're obviously just fucking pissed because they've just been cut up again, you know. But that's to be expected.
Yeah, it's weird. Like phantom pains can't be described, and everyone's is a little different. Some people don't get them at all, and then some people, yeah, I know. Some people get them every day, all day, and then anything in between, right? Like I've gotten them so bad that I'll be driving down the road, and for whatever reason, they'll just start firing, and like I've gotten them so bad to where like my vision narrows, and I've puked from it. Like it's such gnarly pain that I've had to like pull over and Whatever, bro. I made it. Made it.
I'm kidding.
But they're so tough. Like,
do you still
you
get
can't
them?
explain them.
Do you still get them? I
do.
mean, it's been
Yeah.
over 10 years since you. Do you think is there a point?
19.
Yeah, it's been well over 10.
19. I still get them. I mean, even after even after that surgery where they cut that neuroma out, like they just come back. Any number of things can add it. Stress, overuse,
Sure.
fatigue. I mean, anything can really start to, for whatever reason, neurons are weird, I guess. Yeah, it's tough.
Dude, you guys are tough mother effers. Look at me keeping it PG here on X and Instagram today. You're tough mother effers. But Ollie, hey, I know you're down at training camp right now. I don't know what training camp is. I mean, I don't know what it means. I know that you're going through this situation where you're with your teammate and you've been down there for a couple weeks pre-camp training, and then you're going to go into actual training camp. So are you guys on the slopes every day? Kind of what's your diet like while you're there, and how is that going to change as you move into actual camp with coaches and the rest of your team?
Good question.
It's like band camp.
I know we got a competitor on the line here, so you don't want to drop any Team GB secrets here. So if I need to, like, I can drop Keith from the call if you need me to.
No, mate, to be honest, Keith pretty much is on our team. Like, he hangs out with us.
Traitor.
More than his own team.
Traitor.
No, but he does.
I've gotten coaching from his coaches before.
I was about to say, to be fair, he gets proper coaching when he hangs out with us. At least that's why. You're
not wrong.
Well, I've said worse things that are definitely less true. So JBM is also obviously with me, and we've both got our heads down quite a lot. We've both had quite a shit season in terms of just being able to ride and stuff. And so I don't know, you'd probably look at this few weeks that we would be here and you'd be like, oh, ride a few hours each day, maybe go and do a bit of gym here and there or so, go to the pub, have a few beers, go out, meet the locals, get ready for when the boys come, because we're going to have to knuckle down and be serious and stuff. But to be honest with you, like, this last few weeks we've been very well behaved. We've been good. We've not actually been out like on the piss or out for beers like once. We've been to the skate park a good few times. We joined up the local gym in town, like the good one, which is run by an ex-athlete, an ex-mogul skier, Keith,
Oh, wow.
like Australian mogul skier. Done about I think she's done like 3 games and a load of world champs and stuff. Like, really cool lady. Manuela, I can't remember her surname. She's hooked us up with like a really good price. So we've been hitting the gym loads. We've been cooking most of our own. Like, we've been obviously mixing up between eating out and eating in the camper or eating over with where JBM was staying over at Rich and Steph's. And so shout out to Rich and Steph for having us last few weeks, looking after us. But just trying to eat good food. Obviously over here as well, there's the meat's amazing, dude, and it's cheap as chips. So just getting like normal good veg in you, like meats, rice, veg, fucking bologneses, like proper bologneses though, not like out of a tin job. We generally eat quite healthy anyway. So the only thing I'd say that we're definitely not so good at is there's a really nice little donut shop that's right in the tube station of the ski area. And about every second or third day, we end up like pigging into some of the donuts that are there because they're fucking delightful. So I have a little soft spot for that. But in terms of riding, we've been getting out as much as we can. To be honest, sort of second part of the last question, since this surgery, I've been having a few issues with where they cut into the back of my leg. To get in to do the surgery, I've got like probably about a 6-inch it's been having to heal, and it's been longer than I thought it was ever going to be. I think from the surgery went down really quick. Pressure, and like as Keith would know, like for riding, like carving, you're putting a lot of weight through your prosthetic back of that area.
Sure.
And so I've been having some issues sort of like then deciding it wants to swell up a bit here and there, like fitting in my leg, adjustments. I've had a brand new leg that I came out here with, like a whole new bar and top socket and stuff that I had done that's now slightly changed, do some adaptations to that and getting some more. Been doing it, having to do quite a lot more fucking about than I would normally have. So that's been I guess important, but it's been annoying and frustrating because, you know, you just obviously want to come out to somewhere like this and just get on a ride, but that's obviously not the gig that we've got. Just trying to do all those little necessary steps that, so again, up, like we're fully prepared, ready to actually like learn and get better rather than just like have had a jolly for a few weeks, if that makes sense. So part of this trip was just about like doing that, getting some soul riding in, like hanging out with Benny and the guys and Nikki and Sean and the guys in the Aussie team. Nikki's the Aussie coach. Doing some early morning gate sessions with them, like I say, which is like 7 o'clock on the mountain. So we got to get like the 6:30 tube, 30-40 minute drive up to the tube. Had quite a lot of early days, and to be honest, mate, the jet this time, so I'm still in bed by like blood fucks by the end of the by 9 o'clock, which is not normally me. All I want to do is sleep. So it's been like that, but we've had a great time. We've had a great time. When the coaches get here, it's pretty much going to be the same, but they're going to be driving everywhere instead of us, and we're staying in the house the whole time, which is really nice. Probably going to do heaps more skating. Yeah, it's going to be sick, dude. Oh, and we get to do, they've got airbags here, like as part of like the Aussie Centre. So we're going to do some airbag training, do some more early morning gate sessions.
Hey, I want to pump the brakes on airbag training. So for me, what that means is, you know, Sean White in the half pipe, you know, launching out, you know, doing some crazy, you know, whatever he's doing now, and or the Japanese boys doing whatever they're doing and then hitting the airbag. What's airbag training for you guys?
Same. So they've got like a really good facility here with I think JBM said it is like a 15, like a 25-foot jump, I think like a 35 or a 40-foot jump, and then like a 55-foot jump, all into different airbags, or it basically 2 different airbags, you know, 4 jumps total. And yeah, mate, it's just like going up there, booking in a session, like because we're on a part of a team, like an official team. I think we get access to it, or we get some access to it, or I don't know if anyone can go. Either way, we're going. And mate, it's just learning tricks and shit that we want to do. And I think if you were like a development rider, that would be where you'd be learning to hit bigger jumps, just like straight airs and stuff, so that you can just get used to not freaking out and all the differences in speed and G's and that. But for me, mate, yeah, we want to fucking send some flips and see how twisted we can get.
I love it. But I feel like it would still be painful hitting an airbag, you know, the wrong way. I feel like it would not be, you know, like you're falling into a cloud. You know, you're going to be flying through the air, hitting the airbag, hopefully, you know, somewhere legs down and moving. Have you hit one before? And what's it feel like?
I have not ever, I've only ever hit foam pit before on an indoor skate park. But JBM hit the bags and stuff last year, and pretty sweet. Like, obviously, I think if you landed like directly on or something, like you were getting done by the Undertaker, you know, I think it's still not going to go away. It's not going to get rid of all your pain, but it's definitely going to be better than doing it for real, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're not perfect. Like, you can still get shit whipped in there. Like, but it's not nearly as bad as doing it directly on snow or something like that. You know, you can get your bell rung a little bit, but it's much better than taking it straight to the face on snow.
I think like burns and stuff as well, like on your skin. Like if your like tops and stuff pull up, then I think when you're sliding down them, you can kind of get a little bit like skin burn sort of thing. But I don't know. We'll see, mate. I'm just gonna fucking send it. Let's never have an opportunity like that again. So.
Yeah, dude. They had one in Mount Hood a couple years ago, for like the high cascade stuff. where it was like a catcher's mitt. So you'd launch into it, and then it'd have like a slope kind of bagged landing, and
Yeah,
then
this has got a
the
full
catcher's
slope.
yeah, and well, there's a catcher's mitt, so you could like dub into it and then just smack the back of that about as hard as you could imagine, and it was fine. It was kind of cool. It was super sick. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely be doing that because I'm clumsy as fuck.
That's sick. That's gonna be fun for you guys. That'll be like,
it's gonna be a really good few weeks, mate. You know.
Yeah.
It's been really important to have come out here beforehand and just get like settled in again and try and set some stuff up because like I can't use my old leg forever either. So trying to get this new leg set up and dialed in, and all that sort of stuff is important. Like I say, as you know, Keith, we've got a couple of big seasons coming up and time's running out to improve. So
yeah. Well, I'm stoked that you're back on snow. Like the fact that you went through all the surgeries between the shoulder and then the leg surgery and all of that. The fact that you're back on snow, and I know we chatted, right? Yeah. Concussion. Yeah. Oh, that was. Dude, let's not even talk about that. It was so lame. But all of that stuff, and then I talked to you right after your leg surgery, and within a couple of weeks, I think you were like kind of milling around on the skateboard and stuff. It seems like you're progressing super quick, which I love to hear. Like I'm just stoked to like see Ollie with a smile on his face because you're miserable when you're not.
Oh, I'm a fucking horrible cunt. I know. Jeez, don't have to tell me twice.
Have you seen any sassies out there?
See me tired or angry?
Is there any sassies in Australia, or what's the Australian version of the sassy other than the drop bear?
I think they're called the yowies over here.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was gonna say yetis, but no, it's definitely not. I think they're definitely yowies. Fucking yowies, mate. Oh, fucking yowies, mate.
So you haven't seen any yet?
No, none yet. No, haven't. To be honest, mate, I'm too fucking afraid of the rest of the animals in the wildlife to see any fucking yowies. We're gonna have to go deep into the bush, mate, and I ain't fucking going there. I tell you, someone else can go there.
So come to think of it, man, yeah, staying near the snow and staying where it's cold is probably the place to be to stay away from all those killer animals in Australia, right? You got no snakes up there, you got no spiders up there, no crocodiles, no sharks swimming up there. So you're safe in the mountains, man. You're safe in the mountains.
The sharks come out on the land here to eat people, I swear.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Dude, I love it.
If you're like 2 feet from the water, they'll
Oh man, no worries. But hey, this we want to kind of bring it back to Shredding Sassy real quick. This podcast is sponsored by Shredding Sassy Social Club. We got one of the founders, Ollie Hill, with us here today. Drop us a follow, Shredding Sassy, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, at YouTube, man. We're on all the social media sites. Dude, that's a dope hat. I want to get into that here in a little bit. But what Shredding Sassy is an action sports social club, bringing people together that all share the love of Stoke, the love of action sports, and giving us the ability to share it together online, in real life, wherever you want to do it, man. We got discounts. We have live events. We have everything you could want from an action sports perspective. Pro athletes, I got 2 of them right here with me today, talking nonsense, talking craziness, talking everything action sports. So if you want to be a part of the club, jump in, give us a follow, ask us how, and we'll get you all set up. So, check us out, shreddingsassy.com.
Hell yeah. And hey, I know we're... Dude. Yeah, right. We're live on Twitter or X, right? I don't know if we've got anyone over there that's got any questions queued up or anything like that. Since we are live on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, and Instagram, if there's someone out there that wants to shoot us a question, we're happy to answer it while we've got you on the line. Yeah. Any UFOs so far, Ollie? I know you see them.
Dreams, buddy. Only the ones in my dreams or in times when I maybe dream for real.
Look.
So it's pretty wild
him when he starts getting all tongue-tied like that.
It's pretty wild how the media transitions in the United States from thing to thing to thing. Like right now, I haven't heard about UFOs maybe in a couple of weeks because it's all political now, right? It's all political. And, you know, I think UFOs and extraterrestrials are a pretty political topic as well. It just seems like everything is nowadays. But I haven't heard anything in a while. Has there been any recent sightings, Keith, that you know of?
I mean, I've seen Starlink come through a few times recently, which is such a trip. If you haven't seen it, it is the weirdest thing because you're driving along and it's just a line of light just kind of going over the road, and it seems too low to like almost even clear like the mountains around here. I mean, I pulled over the first time I ever saw it, right? And I was like, what is that? You know, and this was kind of before all of the, you know, sightings of Starlink where you could actually look it up and stuff. And so that was a trip. And then, dude, I don't know where I live. I'm only, you know, a handful of hours away from NORAD. And I don't know if I'm seeing UFOs or if I'm seeing like top secret craft of some sort, but there's some weird stuff flying around in my skies once in a while.
So I've never seen Starlink in the sky. I'm going to look it up actually right now. That's interesting that it's low and it's in a line. What do you mean? Like there's multiple satellites that kind of just follow one another?
10 or 12 or something, and
yeah,
like they're fucking alien spaceships.
What?
Just following each other. It is.
They move hella fast, don't they? Hella fast in the sky,
dude. Like, are we positive Elon Musk is not an alien? Do we know that he's human? Because the dude's the smartest dude of all time, right? He runs like 27 businesses. He's just a crazy developer. I mean, is he an alien? Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure he is. Personally, like that, or he's getting messages from the aliens. I don't know, because at the end of the day, he's got his hand in everything, and he seems way too smart to be, you know, the average bear.
I was listening to Rogan's podcast with him, and Rogan said something to him about like how do you keep it up in your mind? Rogan pretty much said, you know, your head must be a mess. Like all the things happening there at once. And I think Elon said something like, yeah, you don't want to be me. You don't want to be me. Like
he takes ketamine, doesn't he?
Probably
does
should.
He?
Probably should.
Does. He has a ketamine prescription.
I'm not surprised.
Bit of every time life gets a little bit too much, and he has a little float away. And comes back with a new idea. He's just seeing the fucking. It's just fucking astroplane to fucking the next world, isn't he? To go and find out what's going on.
Heck yeah, man. Speaking of ideas, go ahead.
Do you think he like has an idea, takes a load of ketamine, astroplanes to another dimension to watch it happen, comes back with the information whether it was a good idea or not? Like, yeah, that one worked. We'll crack on with that. And maybe he'll come back from something. He's like, how was that? It's like, don't fucking go in there, mate. Whatever you do, do not do that.
Maybe he goes through the K-hole and talks to the aliens about it. And he's like, what do you think? And they're like, oh, yeah, do that for sure. Or dude, don't do that. Your people are nutty as it is.
You want the world there tomorrow? Don't do that, motherfucker.
You know, it almost has to be. Like, it almost has to be something like that because, you know, the incremental development of things to get where they are today, you feel like the way Elon does it and the way his companies do is the innovations are massive steps beyond where we're at currently or prior to their innovation. You know, he's got the Neuralink thing that he's working on right now. And then I know that there's been other neuro devices that have been around for 20 years. However, with Neuralink and its integrations to potentially help with disabilities in the future, I mean, not that it's going to grow your leg back, but to help with maybe, you know, spinal disabilities, just the level of development and progression that it seems like his technologies have above what was before. It's almost like he's speaking to aliens, or he's in another dimension, or he's in some space where, you know, he's able to, you know, fastly and rapidly push out these products. It's pretty unreal. It's pretty unreal.
Maybe he's just learned how to use frequencies and stuff in those neural links. I've been reading a lot about frequencies recently, or seeing a lot about how everything's run off of frequencies, like curing cancers and all illnesses, like just like how bees fly, they vibrate a certain frequency and they can float and shit. Like they reckon a lot of like sound, like moving stuff in ancient times could have been done. All the pyramids and shit could all be big frequency towers and stuff, like crazy stuff.
I'm kind of on that same playing field with you. Like I've been going down the frequency rabbit hole quite deep actually. And you know, space and time, I guess, is where it goes to, right? Is like we're thought of as beings, as reality as just being kind of linear, whereas a lot of people are saying, like the smarter ones anyway, are saying, you know, the frequency allows for multiple dimensions and nothing is actually linear. We just see it as like a 2D, 3D, when really there's multiple dimensions. And within those dimensions, they all operate within a certain frequency. And therefore you have, say, levitation or these things that are completely unexplained, being able to move around each other. Look at a massive flock of birds that all fly in perfect unison, but it looks like chaos at the same time.
Yeah, without hitting each other. And yeah, it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild. And but you know, our brains are trained to think you know, in a straight line almost. So it's just hard to comprehend that. You know, it's hard to comprehend that.
It's hard to comprehend a lot of things.
What do you say?
It's hard to comprehend a lot of things.
For sure.
To be honest with you. Who fucking built these pyramids the first time around?
Well, the people that aren't here now.
What about the ones that are under the ground and stuff that they keep finding that are like even older than the ones that we're seeing now?
Or in the ocean.
Like, yeah, or under the Antarctic.
Mm-hmm. Or in Alaska, the Black Pyramid. Have you looked into that? Dude, that'll throw you off.
I tell you what, the other thing I've seen a lot of the old maps from like the 14 and 1500s that had like the North Pole with like 4 continents / countries around it, and then in the center like a big whirlpool type thing with a fucking black stone hanging out the top of it that was supposed to be like the magnetic North Pole and shit. And then after like 1500s, it all it changes into basically being a big load of nothingness. And then there's like loads of like captains' journals and stuff from back in those days saying that they basically go there, and then there's like stuff that happens on the edge of this spirally thing. Dude, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's like literally right around that 1500 period, it all just gets wiped from the maps. Yeah, look up the Black Pyramid in Alaska. The wormhole on that one just alone will take you for a loop. That's for sure.
Damn it. I got stuff I have to do today, guys. You can't give me all these things to Google. I go down rabbit holes pretty easily. So thanks for ruining my day. And it is early here. It's early. Keith, man, I've had no bust-ins from the kids. They're probably waking up soon, man. We're doing good.
Oh, you're crushing it. Same. My kid is out like a light. I mean, I was up at 4 a.m. this morning. It's 6:11 at this very moment.
Let's go.
I texted you just shortly after I got out of the plunge. And I'll tell you right now, it was actually rad. I was sitting in the plunge this morning. It's been super smoky here from all the fires.
Did you block the toilet?
But no, I was sitting in my plunge and it was like just pitch black out, and I looked up and I actually saw some stars kind of creeping through the smoke, and I was like, all right, like this is pretty rad. Like
it feels good to wake up early. It feels good to wake up early, to get stuff done, to kind of, you know, start your day, you know, 7 before, after a workout. I need to get back in that habit. I've been out of that habit all summer. You know, kids are home. They're not in school, but they're heading back here pretty soon. So it'll be good to get back in the flow, get a little bit more structured. By the way, Ollie, my son, I don't know where, but my son, he's a ring guy now. He's a ring guy like you. So dude, he's got like snake rings now, and like this eagle claw ring with two eagles coming, claws coming across. Yeah, they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good. And I don't know, like I wonder, did Ollie like text him, or like did Ollie Neuralink to him to get into the rings? But dude, he's got a load of them now.
He's obviously just finding his style, dude. Let the kid work.
Where do you get those from? Where do you get your rings from, man?
They find you.
They find you. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Like
I watched Ollie ring shop in a Harley Davidson shop in Canada for like 2 hours one night. He couldn't decide between two, and it literally took almost that long for him to finally settle on the one he wanted. Or did you buy them both?
I bought them both.
That's right.
Totally. Not surprised.
Yeah.
Which one?
Both, didn't I?
Which one has the best story? Which of your rings has the best story? It's like Super Bowl rings, like this one. We were down 20 points at halftime. We came back and won. This one, whatever. Which ring has your best story?
He's buffering.
Dude, I'm glad that nobody asked me questions like this, because I'm like, I don't know. Don't ask me stuff before. Tell me before you're gonna ask me.
Probably. Well, I don't know. I bought that one with Keith that's one of the Harley Davidson ones that I got in Banff, Canada. The other one I actually swapped with somebody that I've never done that before, but when we were at NFC Lisbon.
Yeah.
And I met Nizza on the beach, and we had because he's got loads of rings, and then I think we both had a good day, hadn't we? So we were just having a good chat, and then he was like, which one do you like out of mine? And I was like, that one's fucking sick. So he was like, here, take it. So then I was like, shit, which one of mine do you want? Like, he's like, that one. So he took the skull one. So that was quite cool. Dude, my dad gave me this one. So probably this one.
See if we can get it off.
He gave me that one, that gold one. It's the only, because I like fuck with silver rings, right? So it's the only one that I have that's gold, but it's because my dad gave it to me. And he's got one that's like it as well. He gave that to me, I think, after I came back from China, after the games, when I won my medal. In fact, I'm adamant that's when he gave it to me, yeah. So that's pretty cool, because that's kind of sentimental, isn't it?
Yeah, that's sweet.
Did they give you rings as well when you get
They do if you're from the US and A. US and the A, get a ring, nice little ring piece, go in with your finger.
It's very nice. I like.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, that's a US thing. Yeah,
we don't even get a fucking pat on the back.
Well,
you don't get to meet the queen or the king now. You don't get to meet the king.
Oh no, actually no. Not if you just go to the games. Like if as an athlete, like they don't really do they do some stuff, but like I don't know. We didn't get like going into this last games, which is my only one. The COVID rules and all that shit that was happening. Like, we didn't get fuck all. We got all our kit and stuff sent to us in a fucking box that turned up at our last training camp, and then they were like, if anything doesn't fit, well, let us know, but it's probably a bit too late, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Man, I can't imagine. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting time. So hopefully coming up here for 2026, it'll be a little bit better. And then
be better.
And then they announced the 2030s are in the French Alps, and I'm not 2030. Yeah, 2030 in the French Alps, and then 2034 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Keith, back in your stomping grounds, man.
Let's go.
That's pretty dope, man. So that'll be how many years? So 32 years since it was in Salt Lake previous. Wasn't that 2002?
Yep. You'll be like fucking 85 by then, won't you, Keith?
Oh, you had to bring up the age. Look, with age comes wisdom. and I'll be wise enough to
You ain't
not be
fucking very
competing by
wise,
then.
though, are ya?
I never said that. I just said I'll be wise enough. I'll be wise enough to not be at those games, at least as an athlete. No, yeah, my home state. That's gonna be sick. I'm pumped that they finally got the bid. I think they were in the runnings for 2030, and obviously didn't get that one, but finally got 2034.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they set up in the French Alps, like Nice or something like that. You know, usually it's a city, right? Anytime you hear of an Olympics, you hear, okay, it's Olympics this city, Olympics this city. However, the French Alps, man, that's pretty cool. So Keith, so you'd be 20, just under 50. I'd be just under 50 in 2034. Ollie, any chance that you'd be still going in 2034? I think how old are you? 32? So you'd be 40.
I'm 35.
You're old too. Never mind.
Yeah, he's not far behind me.
That's why I'm allowed to say these jokes.
Ollie hasn't gotten married or has kids that he knows of yet, so he doesn't have a whole lot of gray hair popping through. So he looks younger than he actually is, and acts way younger than he is.
Speaking of, are you
mental age way younger than I am? That's for sure.
Keith, when you bringing the beard back, man? I miss the bearded Keith.
I don't know, man. Maybe once it all turns white, because I just have these crazy gray patches down the sides, and it looks kind of cool, but it's still like patchy, and I'm like, nah, I just can't do it yet.
Dude, I got the gray like down here, not so much in the front, but the gray down here, and then on the sides of my head, I got the gray. I got nothing up top, but on the sides, you know, the power donut.
Yeah,
dude, my buddy, my neighbor. He's Italian. He's got the olive skin. He's got the full head of hair. You know, he's got the good Italian genes. I'm like
next door to you.
Yeah. Oh, you come on, olive skin, man. What are we talking about here?
Hey, I've got the olive skin, mate. Trust me.
Do you? You can tan pretty good.
Yeah, I'm bloody tan. I'm like top 10 on me, mate.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, but me, I got those crappy Italian genes. I'm like the hairy guy, you know what I mean? I got the hairy Italian genes with no hair on top. I don't know what's happening. White skin, sunburns real easily. It's rough.
4 foot tall.
Yeah, right.
65.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm the little tiny Danny DeVito guy running around. That's not true. Hey, well, that's not true. I'm taller than Minor. Barely. It's not very hard. Not very hard to be taller than Minor. Sorry, Mike. We love you. You can come on, Minor. Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God, I don't even know what to say after that.
Well, hey, Ollie, why don't you give us
I never started thinking of you like looking like Danny DeVito, but somehow the way that you pulled yourself into it, I can't unsee it now.
Dude, I just gotta own it, man.
It's not even the same person.
Anyway, hey, Ollie, give us a rundown of the hats, bud. You're wearing that hat. I don't have one. I need one. Walk us through the sassy hats that are coming out here shortly.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble for giving too much away.
Well, it's cool because
I've been away
nobody's going to see this. Nobody will see this. So just you, me, and Keith, you can kind of give us a rundown, and then it'll be fun. All right, how about this? Can you tell us a little bit about the technology that's going to be in the hats?
Yeah, I definitely can. We are going to be using NFC chips, which are going to be located in the back of the hat, which you can tap, and it will give you all sorts of utility and function that you can use, that we can use as a business to either promote or to do stuff with events that are coming up, with utilities that are based around the Action Club itself, or we can, for example, have I'm just wording this right.
No, you're good.
Because I don't want to get in trouble. But we want to use the technology in a way that's going to really benefit the athletes and the people that are wearing the hats, and allow them to be able to promote themselves to an audience, or at least showcase a lot of the stuff that they do, or people that are supporting them, in hopefully a much easier way to both A, show, and B, send to people, along with some really cool other stuff like want to introduce things like autographs and things like that into the future. But again, I don't want to talk about this stuff too much.
No, you're good, dude. I'm excited, man. I think it's an excellent idea. I can't wait to see the tech.
We've got 5 or 6 designs, 5 designs that we will be dropping. Again, I hopefully haven't just got in trouble by putting a number to the initial bit, but fuck it.
No, you're fine. It's out there. It's already out there.
Dude, you've probably seen them in a lot of the photos and stuff that the boys have been wearing in the last few weeks. These are literally, we had the very first sample ones. There's one of each. This is one of the black ones, one of the black ones, and back in Portugal are the others. And obviously there's a few small changes that are going to be made to them just to improve and make them better. But we're super stoked to be launching these, dude. The quality is insane on them. We've gone to town with them to put everything that you can to make sure that this is just fucking going to be dope. And we want to get them in all the good stores. We want to get them in, actually in IRL shops across, all of our favorite places. You obviously be able to buy them online as well through Shred and Sassy store, etc. But we want to really use this as a way to get involved in all the local communities and find ways to support the local communities as well as doing stuff to promote us and what we're trying to do.
When did they drop? When did they drop?
Well, this is I'm gonna say what we're in now, July, about to go into August. I reckon realistically they're probably going to be dropping in the next.
Let's go in the fall sometime.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
We wanted them. We wanted them already by now, but we have to make some changes just to make them good for when we go. To make them perfect. And so I know that process has just put us back a little bit. But everything is lining up ready for sure.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see that come out. Excited to see them in stores and get some of my own. I think the tech aspect's pretty cool, and the ability to push updates to them is going to be something that we haven't really seen before.
Dude, it's going to be some really unique functions. And again, I don't want to explain some stuff because I don't want to get in trouble for things that I say because I'm bad for that. But we're genuinely super excited about the technology that's in it and the fact that we think what we're going to use it for is going to be, ultimate USP type stuff that is not being done at the minute and will be fucking excellent for anyone that's involved in it and fun.
So we talked about, I talked about me being bald, you know what I mean? Leaning into the hat game is really important for me, dude. I don't like, showing off the baldness all the time. So I gotta lean into the hat game and, supporting a business that is all about the top cover, man. I'm all for it. So I assume why did you go hats? I mean, I assume that's why is that everybody wears hats for the most part.
Absolutely, and I think if you're into extreme sports and action sports, and you either love the culture that surrounds it, same with sort of sneakers. There's a lot of collectability side of things that you can implement into a kind of like a Web3 strategy as opposed to going into like a normal traditional route of how you kind of get some of your products out there. Hats is something that it never goes out of fashion. They're classic. You collect hats in the same way that, like I say, you collect sneakers and stuff. We spend so much time in helmets and all this stuff, traveling, etc. That we have methods a lot of the time. We all wear hats just as much as everyone else here, and it's something that we really resonate with. And it's different. It's different, We really want to focus a lot of what we're doing in hats, and then having some complementary accessories, merchandise, etc. that comes out around it. And that's I think something that's really special, is there's so many just merchandise companies out there that are making, generic stuff and don't really fit into a mold of anything, whilst, we can definitely utilize this and the technology to put ourselves in a really good position in both the sports commercial athlete world and obviously in the consumer world, culture world, etc., and all the crossover in between. So yeah, it's sick, mate.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a hat guy all the way. You've seen a small portion of my hat collection when you were out here last time, and it continuously grows, and I'm constantly having to swap out hats and like realize like, oh, I haven't worn this one in a few years. Either wear it or find a new one to replace it, kind of deal. So I love it, man. I love the fact that y'all are trying to think outside the box and put something on our tops that no one else has out there yet. And I just love hats. I love designs. Like I, spend money on haircuts because unlike our boy Sleep, I still have a full head of hair, even though I'm older than him. But
Oh,
I'm
that was
too lazy to
horrible.
comb it. I'm too lazy to comb it. So
Well, don't be lazy. Don't rub it in his face and then be lazy about it. That's just fucking
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah, right. Love what you
You
have,
should
man.
apologize for that, Keith.
I
No,
will
don't
not.
apologize.
I will
Don't
not.
apologize.
I stand by what I said.
I love it. I love it.
What? Yeah, fair.
Anyways.
Fuck you and fuck you too. And when you come back, you can fuck off again.
That was good, man. Having you in the middle, you can point both ways, man. Hey, but listen, this has been a great show. We've been running for about an hour. I think we've already been cut from Instagram. Instagram says you have an hour and you are done. So we're still live on X right now. We're looking to continue to grow this thing, continue to do these live streams, have a bunch of our friends on here with us, have various athletes on with us from different sports. Ollie, we just want to big thank you to staying up late, stopping the van, stopping the party bus with you and JBM. Thanks for JBM sitting in the background, listening into this. It's been a great one, man. Great to hear about your time in Australia. Glad you stayed away from those snakes because I think that's number one goal when you go to Australia. Stay away from those snakes. And dude,
stay away from the sharks too, dude.
Oh, sharks for sure. Wow. It has been a great one, man. Why don't you tell everybody where to follow along with your career, what's going on, and where you're at?
So I'm pretty shit at posting stuff at the minute. But when I do, you can find me. Always have me.
Sorry, continue.
I'm not born perfect. I have my flaws. They'll eventually fix themselves by working on them. That's how life works, but some days better than others. Anyway, you can find me on Ollie MX131. Ollie OLLIE, like the skateboard, MX131 on Insta, and X is Peggy _Sue _3rd.
You gotta dial that in. Dial it in. I'm sure there's some point to it, but you gotta have them the same, right? They gotta be the same. I think you gotta switch Instagram to Peggy Sue.
No, I can't. I'm like a hoarder. I can't change that stuff. It's like in the same way like how I wouldn't change your name in my phone once I know you from what I save you as when I meet you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
you'll always be Sleep in my phone, even though I know your name, and even though like we could have something else but you'll always be Sleep in my phone.
So I was just looking to see what I had your guys' names as, and I have your full names in my phone, but I do have people that like before I know their last name, I'll throw in like Chris Jiu-Jitsu, this person, you know what I mean? For sure. Keith Snowboarding, right? So I get that.
I save people's phone. I save my name in people's phone as Ollie One Leg Cunt.
All very true. Very true.
And they'll never forget it, will they?
No.
Hey, I just wanted to say, since we're mentioning X, I saw Odyssey just threw us a shaka. Big shaka back to you, brother. Anybody out there? I don't know if we had any questions or comments today, but just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you to everybody for there he is. Yeah. Just wanted to say thanks for tuning in live, early or late, wherever you are. It's been fun. I was super stoked to get to catch up with this guy over here, Ollie Hill, who he actually makes me smile quite often, and love the guy to death. So huge thank you to everybody for jumping in and listening today.
I'll see you in about 5 weeks as well, won't I?
That's right.
What, 5 weeks? We're at in 5 weeks.
Keeps coming to Portugal. Mit deiner Family. mit deiner Familie.
Yeah. Go out there for a little while, check out the spot.
Help me look for a house.
That's right.
For Radlands, mate. See how I'm Sir Oliver, Duke of Radlands? I'm finally looking for Radlands.
There you go.
Sick.
I see Sedlands, but I'm not made to spell.
No. So it says Sir Oliver, Duke of Radl. We don't get the full in there, and then his title is founder of said lands.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I was built for speed, not to read.
Oh man, we're dragging this thing through the finish line today. No, thank you very much again, Ollie. Thanks, Keith, dude. This is always a blast, and we're gonna do it again here real soon. I think we're gonna do another one with another guy from Down Under here pretty soon, with Ash Kalia again. We'll get him on here, talk a little surf ahead of the Olympic surf competition going down in Tahiti and French Polynesia. So we got the Olympics coming up, man. There's some big things happening. Obviously the para guys in the Olympics, Keith, I know you and Ollie, I'm sure both know some people competing. So we got some good stuff coming up. So for everybody out there, keep an eye out. We'll be posting our live streams in advance on X, on Instagram, and in Discord. So keep a lookout, and we'll be seeing you. Keith, anything to close us out?
No, just stay tuned. We got some guests lining up. Ash coming in here pretty soon, and then Evan Strong will be on August 5th. Super stoked to chat with Evan. So as well. So just stay tuned. We're going to be blasting these out as frequently as we can. We don't have any real time stamps or dates other than as we go, we'll let you all know. So much love to everybody. Huge thank you to you, Ollie.
Stoked that Ev's coming on as well.
Yeah,
so obviously I'm stoked Ash is coming on. But Ev's Ev's a
homie. So is Ash.
So is Ash, but you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Love it. Well, hey, you listen to this as well on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Apple's in the fridge, whatever you listen to. I don't know. You can find us there. We'll be everywhere. But again, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you out there.
Much love.
Won't be in your
ass. Oh man, we're losing it. He just bailed. He's out of here. He's like, dude, I'm out.
He's gone.
All right, have a good one, Shredders. Thanks all. See ya.